Good morning. Welcome to the daily current affairs discussion. The first topic that we are taking today is about the economy topic. It is a topic in economy about the share market or capital market, and the concept is dabba trading. Right. Trading normally is the sale and purchase of shares or bond issued by different companies, both public and private, in the stock market. And stock market is regulated by the SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India. It is a stock market regulator, and it is the place where sale and purchase of shares or bond took place. And there are two operators broadly in the stock market. One is a bull who purchases the share, and there is a bear who sells the share. Stock market needs the presence of both bull and bear, a smooth functioning of the trading activity. And normally in India, we have two indices. One is the BSE Sensex or sensitive index to the Bombay Stock Exchange, and second is the National Stock Exchange sensitive index called Nifty 50. It's the BSE 30 and Nifty 50. BSE 30 is based on the share value of 30 regularly traded company in the Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE is Nifty 50 is based on the share value of 50 regularly traded companies in Indian stock market. Okay. So recently, the National Stock Exchange (NSE) issued a string of notice naming entities involved in the dabba trading. Okay, the NSE cautioned retail investors to not subscribe or invest using any of these products offering indicative, assured, guaranteed return in the stock market as they are prohibited by law. Added that the entities are not recognized as authorized members by the exchange. Fine. Who? The dabba traders. They are not authorized by the government to do trading in the stock market. They are doing it illegally. So government has cautioned the investors not to invest in the dabba trading activities. Okay. What is dabba trading? Dabba is box. Okay. So trading refers to informal trading, not formal. So trading in the stock market is a formal activity. It's not formal. That takes place outside the purview of the stock exchange. This sort of trading took place outside the formal trading structure of the stock market. It is outside. It is informal, not formal. Normally, the stock market, the trading took place in a very formal manner among the registered, recognized intermediaries. But in dabba trading, so it is informal and so it is illegal. Right? So trader bet on stock price movement without incurring a real transaction to the to take physical ownership of particular stock as it is done in an exchange. What happens in exchange? So the trader and investors make payment and took physical possession of the shares. But in double trading, so this is the betting took place as per the increase or decrease in the stock price. So no way formal possession of the share is possible in case of this sort of trading because no physical is being illegal, so the stock market has no role to play. This is undertaken outside the purview of the stock market. So this sort of trading is always outside their purview. So it is an completely informal activity outside the purview of the stock market or recognized stock market. Right? Trader bet on stock price movement. So two persons who do the dabba trading, they bet on the movement of the stock price. Okay, without incurring a legal transaction to take physical ownership of a particular stock as is done in exchange. In simple words, it is gambling centered around stock price movement. Okay, it is a gambling like activity, and that gambling revolves around the stock price. Okay, so the example, investor place a bet on a stock price at a price point, say 1000. Okay, if the price points rose to 1500, he or she would make a gain of 500. However, if the price point fall to 900, the investor will have to pay the difference to the DABA broker. Am I clear? So in case the price increases, he is going to get an hike. If the price fall down, in that case, he is going to incur a loss. Am I clear? Okay. So this is completely unauthorized, okay, illegal and unrecognized as it is. Thus, it could be concluded that the broker's profit equates the investor's loss and vice versa. Okay, so this is where the broker's profit is the investor's loss. Okay, so the primary purpose of such traders is to stay outside the purview of the regulatory mechanism. This being completely informal, the traders remain completely outside the regulatory mechanism of SEBI. Okay. And the primary purpose of trade is to stay outside the purview of the regulatory mechanism, and thus transactions are facilitated using cash and mechanism is operated using unrecognized software terminals. They use unrecognized software terminals to do this trading. Okay, so it is a complete loss. Okay, and riskful also. Okay. Other than this, it could also be facilitated using the informal or kacha records of the okay challenge DD cash receipts along bill contract note as proof of trading. DAPA trading is recognized as an offense under section 23(1) of the Security Contract Regulation Act 1956, and upon conviction can invite imprisonment of the term extending up to 10 years, the fine up to 25 crore or both. Okay, because this is completely illegal, so there is a fine, was provision for imprisonment and fine up to 25 crore and even both issue. So why it is being taken so seriously by the government? So loss of government exchequer, since there are no proper record of income or gain, it helps double traders escape taxation. Right, because it operates outside the formal mechanism, so it is completely unrecognized. So that is why, so they are unable to be brought under the control of. Okay, so the use of cash also means that they're outside the formal banking system, all combined results in loss to the government exchange. They could have to pay the commodity transaction. They could not have to pay the commodity transaction tax and the security transaction tax are being paid by other stock market operators. Okay, so first is it is a loss to the government on the counts. Loss of government exchequer, since there is no proper record of income or gain. It helps double traders escape taxation. Number one, they would not have to pay the commodity transaction tax or the security transaction tax on their transactions. Number two. Number three, the use of cash also mean that they are outside the purview of the formal banking system. All of combined results is a loss to the government exchequer. Okay, so all the three are the loss to the government. Okay, no investor protection is the government loss. Then come to investors. No investor protection. In double trading, the primary risk entitles the possibility that the broker defaults in paying the investors or the entity became insolvent or bankrupt. Being outside the regulatory purview implies that investors are without formal provisions for investor protection, dispute resolution mechanism and grievance redressal mechanism that are available within an exchange. The stock exchange, this grievance redressal mechanism, dispute settlement mechanism and consumer protection is available, but in the DAPA trading these things are not available, so this no way protect the interest of the investors. Harassment and of the clients. We also notice that clients are entering the DABA ecosystem we are harassed by the broker's recovery agent for default payment. In case the investors become defaulters, so the DABA agents, okay, they harass the investors, okay, even at times use their muscle power because the DABA that operator they run their own company of muscle man and that they harass the investors in case of or the by the brokers, the harassed by the brokers, recovery agents, the broker of the recovery agents, and they do harass the investors in case of any default. Okay, black money and money laundering. Since all activity are facilitated using cash and without any auditable record, it could potentially encourage the growth of black money alongside perpetuating a parallel economy. This could potentially translate to risk entitlement, money laundering, and criminal activities. Loss and volatility. The source one that the mechanism could potentially translate into ripple effects for. Okay, so these sources one that mechanism could potentially translate into ripple effects for the regulated browse as well by inducing volatility when DABA brokers look to hedge their exposures, take position in an alternative asset, investment to reduce the risk loss with the current position. So at times by earning from the DABA, so they can invest in other options. Okay, it also contribute to browse losing out the volumes even though they may not be significant because the people who are not willing to invest or who want to invest black money they can invest through the dabba mechanism because this is more convenient to the person who want to trade in the black money, right? Because there is no such requirement of any accountability in this case, that is why. So okay, so this is enough to maybe. So the people may not invest in the regular stock market share, but in the DABA trading, and this way it will loss to the government, then this to the customers, and also this led to running of a parallel stock market system in the country, which is completely unauthorized. That is why the National Stock Exchange has warned its the investors around the country not to invest in such type of DABA trading activities. Hello, 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 online class हो कोई सारी close. Okay. Then the next is a topic of art and culture, the Uttar Meru inscription. Okay. History, ancient history. Okay. Reflected through this Uttar Meru expression. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently referred to the Uttar Meru inscription in Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, while discussing India's democratic history. Okay, Uttar Meru inscription found there in a local constitution for the Gram Sabha. It tells how the assembly should be run, what should be the qualification of members, what should be the process to elect the members, and how a member could be disqualified. While Uttar Meru has multiple inscriptions spanning centuries, the most famous one, each front from the region of Parantaka 1, 907 to 93 AD. These provides a detailed description about the village self-governance and have been cited by historians and political leaders alike as evidence of India's history of democratic functioning. Where is Uttar Meru? Uttar Meru lies in present-day Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu district. Today it is a small town. It is known for its historic temples built during the Pallava and the Chola rulers. Okay, so the massive temples constructed during the Pallavas and the Cholas. Okay, so it popularized Kanchipuram. Okay, so the famous inscription from Parantaka one's regime is found on the walls of the Vaikunda Perumal temple. What? Which temple? Remember this, that's Vaikunda Perumal temple. So the Parantaka one's inscription on that democratic governance. Okay. What does the inscription say? The inscription gives detail of the functioning of the local Sabha, village assembly. A Sabha was a assembly exclusively of Brahmanas and has specialized committee tasked with different things. The Uttar Meri inscriptions details how members were selected, the required qualifications, the roles and responsibilities, and even the circumstances in which they could be removed. Okay. Then appointing representatives to the Sabha, describing how the Sabha shall be constituted. The inscription says there will be 30 wards. Everyone living in the 30 wards could assemble and select one representative for the village assembly. It then goes on to describe what the qualification for such a representative must be. It includes ownership of a certain amount of land because land was the main property then, having a house, being between the age of 35 to 70 and 70, and working mantra and brahmanaj, knowing mantra and brahmanaj, okay, from the Vedic corpus, because he being a belong to the Brahmin community, he must know the Vedas and the brahmanaj. Okay, there the qualification. What are the qualification? Having land, having a house between the age of 35 to 70, and knowing the Vedic mantra and brahmanaj. The exception can be made on land ownership if the person has learned at least one Veda and four Vyasas. If we know that, then the condition of land ownership can be taken care of. Okay, can be exempted. One must also be well versed in business and virtues. Okay, this is another uh, requirement to be elected to the village Sabha. Okay. One must also well versed in business and virtues. The inscription then lists a number of factors which disqualify someone and their family. All the relations are systematically listed from consideration. This includes not having submitted accounts while previously serving in a committee, committing any of the past four of the five great sins like killing a Brahman, drinking alcohol, theft and adultery, being associated with the outcast and eating forbidden dishes. All these eligible and willing to write their names on palm leaf tickets, following which the representative could be chosen on the basis of an elaborate draw of lots conducted by priests in the inner hall of the building where the assembly meets. Detailing responsibility, the inscription describes a number of important committees within the Sabha with their own distinct function. This includes the Garden Committee, the Tank Committee, Annual Committee, and Executive Committee, which requires prior experience and knowledge to be part of it. The Committee for Supervision of Justice, for supervising appointment and wrongdoings, and Gold Committee in charge of all gold in the village temple. The five-fold committee, its role is unclear in the inscription. This committee assignment could last for 360 days, after which the members could have to retire. So, it's just 1 year. So, around 360 days they are to serve, and after that they are to retire. Anyone in the committee who was implicated in any wrongdoings, such as forgery or having reading on donkey, being punished for a crime, was removed instantly. Also, the inscription emphasizes on the keeping of accounts. Any discrepancy can also disqualify member of the Sabha. It is an example of democracy. For all intent and purposes, okay. Uganda spent dinga, a traditional. Okay, so they tell us about the nature, tree, plant, animal, moon, sun, river, rain, god and goddesses. What food are fed, how plow is made, how the king is to fight, how the power of the Tantra Mantra black magic work. All this is explained through the painting. Gond painting raw materials, paper, canvas, handmade paper, canvas, or even chart paper are that are readily available in the market are used to make gond paintings. Colors, bright colors such as red, yellow, and blue, green, etc. are commonly used in gond art. Natural colors are obtained from charcoal, colored soil, plant, leaves, cow dung, etc. Gond artists are now using synthetic colors such as acrylic colors, poster colors, and oil paints as they are readily available in the market than collecting it traditionally. Tool, print bus, and various sizes are now used to make gond painting. Gond painting themes and designs. The themes and motifs of the gond painting are drawn from the local flora and fauna, deities, and urban culture. Gond painting mainly depicts the following subjects: pictures of peacocks, birds, crabs, mythical beasts, lizards, lion, tiger, deer, snakes, wild boar, cow, monkey, elephant, horse, fish, etc. Mohura tree and tea of life. Mohua flower, fruits, seed and leaves are used for many purposes by the Gondar tribes. Modern designs such as aeroplanes, bicycle, car, technology, etc. also used. Myth, legends and accept of the daily life of the Gondar people. Hindu god such as Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Lord Ganesh are also find place in the Gondar painting. Local deities like the Fulbari Devi, goddess of Kali. Okay. Jhalin Devi, river goddesses. Marahi Devi, etc. also found there mentioned in the painting. Then the folk tales also represented in the Gonda painting. Each Gonda artist used his own distinctive pattern and style to fill the images. These distinctive patterns are called signature patterns. Some of the patterns used in Gonda painting are dots, fine lines, curved lines, dashes, fish scales, drops of water, seed shapes, and geometrical shapes, etc. Fine. And the main important thing to remember is it has got the GI tag recently. The next is the Mahad Satyagraha. As a grateful nation celebrate the 132nd birth anniversary of the father of Indian Constitution, Bhimrao Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Okay, here is a recall of the Madh Satyagraha, one of the earliest and among the most significant of milestones in a great life. The event that led to the Madh Satyagraha began to unfold in August 1923. The Bombay Legislative Council passed resolution moved by the social reformer Rao Bahadur Svole. It endorsed that the untouchable classes be allowed to use all public water sources, wells and dharmasala, as well as public schools, court, offices and dispensaries. Ambedkar at the time was helping Dalit fight against the social evil of untouchability through the uh, Bishishkrit, Bahishkrit Hitakarini Sabha. Okay. The Indian institution that he has founded in 1924. But Bahishkrita Hitakarini Sabha. But it was failed to implement because of the protest from the Sabarna Hindu. Although it was passed by the Bombay Legislative Council, but it was not being implemented due to opposition by the Sabarna Hindus. Then the Mahat Satyagraha or the Chabdar Tale Satyagraha was led by B.R. Ambedkar on 20th March 1927 to allow untouchables to use water in a public tank in Mahat, currently Raigad district, Maharashtra. The day is observed as Social Empowerment Day in India. Mahat was elected for the event because it has a nucleus of support from caste Hindus. In December 2015, the Sasastra Uday under the guidance of Ambedkar burnt Manusmriti, a Hindu uh, law book, as a protest. In December 1937, the Bombay High Court ruled that untouchables have the right to use water from the tank. In 19 March 1940, Dr. Ambedkar arranged a rally and public conference in Madad to recollect 40th Mahat Satyagraha Day as Empowerment Day. This movement was, although withdrawn, but gave confidence to the untouchables to fight against the social disability of untouchability. Okay, so On this auspicious occasion, it is very important to remember the importance of this satyagraha because long years back, Monte de Marsan, an air force base of the French Air and Space Forces. Okay, exercise Orient is a multinational exercise hosted by the French government. The backdrop of this exercise is the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, where NATO, led by USA, is opposing Russian move against Ukraine. It is reportedly the largest ever multinational exercise being carried out by the French Defense Forces, which have involved their Army, Navy, and Air Force. Exercise Orion would be the first overseas exercise of the Indian Air Force Rafale aircraft, which are got from France. Participation involved many of the France, NATO, and other important allies like Germany, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Spain, and United States of America. All the major states are participating in the exercise Orion conducted by the French Defense Forces. Significance: it highlights the growing importance of India in the international arena and its close ties with the key allies such as France. The participation of Indian Rafale in multinational bargain help in improving their capability and also in enhancing the interoperability of Indian Air Force with their French counterparts. Participation in this exercise could further enrich the employment philosophy of the Indian Air Force by imbibing the best practices from other air forces. Ethics. Okay, code of ethics and code of conduct are often used interchangeably, but they have different meaning and function. Explain the difference between code of ethics and code of conduct and provide example of each. Code of ethics and code of conducts are both important tools for promoting ethical behavior in the public sector. While code of ethics provides overarching principle and value, code of conduct provides more specific rules and guidelines for behavior. This is a questions in the ethics part. Effective implementation of these codes is critical for ensuring that public officials behave ethically and responsibly. Difference between the code of ethics and code of conduct. Code of ethics are broad statement of principles and values that guide behavior, while code of conduct are specific rules and guidelines for behavior. For example, a code of ethics for civil servant could contain a declaration of values reflecting public expectations of the relationship between the civil service and the government, legislature, and the public, with specific reference to political Okay, so refers to political impartiality, accountability of action, and responsibility to the government of the day. On the other hand, code of conduct for civil servants could provide specific guidelines on issues such as acceptance of gift, conflict of interest, and acquisition of property, as enunciated in the Central Service Rules 1964 and analogous rules applicable to members of the All India Services or employee of the various state government. Code of ethics are often voluntary and aspirational, while code of conduct are typically mandatory and enforceable. Code of ethics is not enforceable, but they are somehow more voluntary. Okay, so for instance, a code of ethics for civil service could be aspirational in nature and could encourage officials to maintain the highest ethical standards. On the other hand, civil service code in India is a legally enforceable code of conduct that authorizes the civil service core value and standards of behavior expected of all civil servants in upholding these values. Code of ethics enable employee to make independent judgment about the most appropriate course of action, whereas the code of conduct enables employees to work in compliance with rules and actions. Okay, and actions. For instance, code of ethics for civil servants could say that actions of officers would be driven by larger common good, leaving enough room for individual judgment. On the other hand, code of conduct would state that civil servant would not indulge in any bribery, etc. Implementation of code of ethics and code of conduct in public sector. To be effective, code of ethics and code of conduct must be communicated clearly and consistently to public officials at all levels of government. Example of effective implementation include training programs under Karmajogi mission. So recently Prime Minister of India launched the mission Karmajogi for the government servants. Regular reviews and updates of the code, 360-degree performance appraisal of civil servants, etc. In addition, code of ethics and code of conduct should be integrated into broader system of accountability and transparency, such as public reporting on ethical violations and independent oversight by bodies such as the Ombudsman and audit committees. So, in the conclusion, in India, while there is no prescribed code of ethics for civil servants, there are code of conduct rules that contain specific activity deemed undesirable from government servants. Therefore, there is a need to lay down more generic norms as recommended by the OTA committee and the second administrative reform committee. Okay, commission. By adhering to code of ethics and code of conduct, civil servants can promote integrity, impartiality, and commitment to public service, which are essential for maintaining the trust and confidence of the public in the government. Because so the in course of time, the public's trust on the. Okay, the public trust on the civil servants is falling due to the, so it is called due to lack of ethics. Okay, and so this code of ethics and code of conduct should be honestly followed by, and due training should be given under the mission Karmajogi as launched by the government. So that is why the impartiality, integrity, and honesty of the civil servant in the country can be well maintained. Coming to the MCQs, with reference to Dabbar trading, often mentioned in news, consider the following. Dabbar box trading refers to informal trading that take place outside the purview of the stock exchange. It is correct. Results in loss to the government exchequer. Correct. Daba trading is recognized as an offence under Section 23(1) of the Security Contract Regulation Act 1956. All the three are correct in this context. Answer is D. Consider the following statement about the solid fuel duct ramjet. This is a rocket engine. It has been deployed by the Indian Space Research Organization. No, it is not correct. Okay, so the FDR based propulsion enable the missile to intercept aerial threats at short range, ultrasonic speed. So both are incorrect. Answer is D for this. Following about the Gond tribes of Madhya Pradesh, they are mostly found in central India. Definitely, Madhya Pradesh is one such state, but central India they are also located. Gond painting depicts man's relation with nature. Fine. Paint made from boiled oil and vegetable dye is laid down. No, naturally that different art colors, charcoal, and art been present. They are using the chemical colors also. One and two are correct. So three, so that three is incorrect. Fine. So one and two, A is the right answer. The Uttar Mary inscription often mentioned in the news recently provisions information on the administration which are the following. It is about the so Cholas. Okay. With reference to exercise Orion, the following statement is a multinational exercise hosted by NATO, not by NATO. It is by France. Okay. Every year a NATO country hosts this exercise for the year 2023. It is France. So both are incorrect. Neither one nor two. It is completely a France military exercise. Then comes from six missile type Helena anti-tank guided missile, Astra short range ballistic missile, Prithvi is air to air missile is wrong, surface to surface missile, Agni 5 long range nuclear capable missile. Okay, so here only okay, so it is that Astra and Agni, these two are correct. Two pairs are correct. Mars initiative upon mention in news is related to agroforestry. Maharishi. World Food Program is a food assistance branch of which of the following organization? It is an of the United Nations. You know, World Food Program WPF is a program of United Nations. So, with reference to business environment ranking, consider the following: BER by World Bank measures the attractiveness of the business environment in 82 countries on quarterly basis. Singapore top the latest ranking. So, so it is only two is correct, but one is incorrect. Reference to regional New Year harvest festivals. Okay. Tamil Nadu, Puthandu, Uttar Pradesh, Bihu is incorrect. Odisha, Vaishakhi is incorrect. Kerala, Vishu, West Bengal, Polish, Vaishakhi, Navavarsa. Okay, it is correct. So, in this only two pairs are correct. Right. Thank you for watching this regularly. Watch this for updating your knowledge base. Thank you for watching.